Yeah, 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 I run my fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you're lusting is the one you're loving?
Who do you think is going to be most nervous about this list coming out?
So I have a very specific connection, not to the list, but towards a certain scenario. I got up this morning and I saw that Jimmy Kimmel was trending on
yes, I saw that
on Twitter. And so I was like, what's my dude trending for? And come to find out, Aaron Rodgers had went on the McAfee show and said that this list is coming out, and he knows that Jimmy Kimmel is very afraid of the fact that his name is going to be on it. The reason why I'm bringing up the story now is because I think it's very important for us to know as people that this is not a small deal. There's going to be names that are going to come out on this list, and those people are going to be affected by it. Jimmy, who's never met Epstein.
Well, let me get a story. Let me get all of the background. So Pat McAfee, again, journalism is dead. So now athletes get to be their own journalists. He pays Aaron Rodgers to be on his show, the Pat McAfee show. Aaron Rodgers gets a nice check to be on there. So they talk trash because that's what you can do when you're an athlete and you have a platform and millions of people follow. You don't have to be correct. You don't have to say things that are right, except when you say something that's wrong, you could be sued. So on Tuesday's episode of the Pat McAfee show, Aaron Rodgers said, there's a lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, really hoping that doesn't come out. Like, why is he catching strays? Like, unless you know something, like, let's stop doing that. He said, if that list comes out, I definitely will be popping some sort of bottle. What? So Jimmy Kimmel, when it aired, Jimmy Kimmel threatened legal action. He said, "Dear asshole, for the record, I've not met, flown with, visited, or had any contact whatsoever with Epstein, nor will you find my name on any list other than the clearly phony nonsense that soft-brained wackos like yourself can't seem to distinguish from reality. Your reckless words put my family in danger. Keep it up, and we will debate the facts further in court." Pat McAfee, understanding that lawsuits are real, said, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers was just talking shit. I can't see exactly why Jimmy Kimmel felt the way he felt. I can see exactly why he felt the way he felt, especially with his position. But I think Aaron was just trying to talk ish. Let's stop doing that. Why are we doing that?
That's not the subject to talk about. And let me tell you how serious it is. Jimmy is my dude. We're both from Las Vegas. He's my boy. I hit him up and I told him straight up. This is what I said. I won't say exactly the words I said, but I said, we ride at dawn. I said, blah, 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 this dude, you tell me when and where. And he hit me back up and he said, we're meeting at midnight at the top of the Sahara. Like, he is not playing with this nonsense. And I do not blame him because this list is serious. Now, exactly what does it mean if you're on it? Who knows? Does it mean you're just associated? Does it mean that you're deep? I don't know. But I'll tell you this, it's enough that if your name is even associated, people are talking about suing, which goes back to what we talked about before the break. You loosely said something like, is it us? And I want to say straight out, this is not an us issue. There are some very specific individuals that kind of darkness, that kind of perversion is a thing for them. Now, I want to be really clear. I do not judge anybody's sexual anything at all. I am not, you're a prude, I'm not a prude. I'm freaky. I ain't even gonna lie about it. But here's the deal.
You like feet. We heard that already.
There is a difference between however you feel about sex and kids. There's just a difference there. That changes. If your thing is I like to be with young people, I genuinely believe that may be a little bit of a mental pocket that needs to be dealt with on another level. And to be able to admit to that or to be shown on the list associating you with that, that's a career ruiner in my opinion.
Yeah, no, and it should be. But again, I feel like we made space in this country, in this culture, primarily because of how this country was founded. It was founded in child trafficking. You know, the vast majority of people that were kidnapped from Africa, brought here in holds of ships and in bondage were children that hadn't even gone through a rites of passage. The vast majority were children on plantations throughout South Carolina where human beings were being bred regularly. Virginia, they were children. First period, you are now right to be able to, I got my period at 12. Now you are now producing babies for the rest of your life.
Sure.
Right? So we've given space to power to take whatever they want. And then we've built the appetite for people to want to be in power so they can do whatever they want. And I think Donald Trump is a classic example of such a person who has never had to develop himself in any way. You and I, you know, listening to your book, there are things we've had to build our character.
Yes.
We've had to, you know, have these come to Jesus moments with ourselves, and you know, there've been crossroads and decisions had to be made about whether you were going to be this kind of person or that kind of person. He never had to do that.
Yeah.
His whole entire life has been, I do what I want. I can take what I want. And people make provisions for him to do that because he has money, and his daddy had money. So he learned it in the home that you can do no wrong. He's never really had to confront himself, right? And now he's 77, whatever, almost 80 years old. That's never going to happen. So, but there are videos of him at Epstein, joking with him, doing a white man overbite because that's the only dance he knows. And there are girls, there's children there. They're children. And I can't believe that everyone that goes there, they knew that was on the menu, that little girls, that children were on the menu.
Do you think everybody that was associated or affiliated with Epstein knew that?
I don't know if everybody, but I said this yesterday about TD Jakes. And 866-801-8255 if you want to join us in conversation. You know, what if there was none of the untoward things? You know, and somebody called up and said, I know. Do you know? Or you just, well, he seems like somebody that, no, that's not what this is. If you weren't in the room and don't have video proof or whatever, like, shut your mouth, because anything is very damaging. But I asked the question, anybody that knows anything about that industry, you know what that party would be like. You know what a Puff Daddy party was like.
Right.
I was a journalist. I knew I was a journalist, and I knew one thing I knew was Bill Cosby. Sure. Because people talk. If you go out with Mr. Cosby, if you go around Mr. Cosby, he's fresh. First thing somebody said to me. Yup, he's fresh. I'm in my 20s. He's fresh. Don't be surprised. He's fresh. What does that mean? You know, this man is 50. I'm in my 20s. Like, what the hell? What is that? What do I have to navigate that?
Sure.
Why would I have to navigate that? But you know, if you're TD Jakes, are you aligned with this energy? This all night partying, drinking, sex, all the wild stuff that's going on there, the N-words, is this you? Because at some point you get swept up in something, even if it's not, because you were in the room. And I say this all the time. You're in a room full of sick people. Your good health is not going to make them healthy. It's more likely that their sickness will get on you. Much more likely you're going to catch something. So don't put yourself in the room. So to that point, Jeffrey Epstein, I'm sure the rumors were there, Tyler. I'm sure everybody knew, he's got that island out there. You get 15, 16, nubile, young girl. She's going to be all over you. It's like the passport bros. Sure. Except those are sex workers. Except those women, most by and large, are willfully, selling sex in the fantasy. And these girls were lured because they're young, in pimp-like fashion onto this space to be trafficked. And sex trafficking is so prevalent in this country. We don't even talk about it. Sure. It's so prevalent. It's so prevalent. So, I don't feel bad for the people who didn't know. But once you know, you're like, let me get out of here. This doesn't represent me. No, I ain't down with this. We all like to say, well, you see something, New York says, if you see something, say something. Most of us don't say anything. Right. Watch stuff go down all the time and say nothing because it's none of my business. Right. But if it's a child, it's your business.
If it's a child, it's your business.
my fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you're lusting is the one